Up close with legends, Alex Eala trains with Rafael Nadal on his retirement anniversary. On a warm, golden morning in Mallorca, where the Mediterranean breeze dances across the clay courts like a whispered blessing, a moment destined for the pages of tennis history quietly unfolded. It wasn't a Grand Slam final, nor a high-stakes press conference, nor even a choreographed tribute event. Yet it felt bigger than all of that, because on this day, exactly 1 year after Rafael Nadal announced his retirement, the world didn't gather to mourn the end of an era. Instead, the spirit of tennis celebrated something more powerful: legacy, continuity, and the unbreakable bond between legends and the rising stars they inspire. At the center of it all stood Alexandra Alex Eala, the Filipino tennis sensation whose talent echoes across continents, sparking comparisons to the greats, even a man she was about to train with today. A court that remembers. At the Rafa Nadal Academy, the clay felt different today. The staff moved with quiet reverence. Even the birds circling above seemed to understand they were flying over sacred ground. A year ago, the same court witnessed emotional scenes. Tears, applause, speeches, and a standing ovation that lasted so long became its own kind of legend. Now, though, the court waited for new footsteps. And they came. Alex Eala arrived early, dressed in her signature calm confidence, an expression that concealed excitement bubbling inside her. She had trained here many times, had lived and studied under this academy's demanding excellence, had even crossed paths with Nadal, and shared brief rallies under the scorching Mallorca sun. But this day was different. This was the first time Rafael Nadal had personally invited her to an anniversary training session, an intimate, symbolic way of passing on the fire that once fueled the king of clay. When Rafa walked in, he entered with the same stillness he carried throughout his career, humble, focused, steady. His body had retired, yes, but the aura surrounding Rafael Nadal still commanded entire rooms. His presence made time slow down. "Buenos dias, Alex," he said, his smile warm, his eyes sharp as ever. "Buenos dias, Rafa," she replied, trying to sound calm even as her heart hammered like a match point at Roland Garros. Rafa looked at her racket, examined her footwork as she warmed up, and nodded with approving satisfaction. "I've been watching your matches. You have something special," he told her. For any young player in the world, that would mean everything. For Alex Eala, who had grown up admiring him, who had studied his fighting spirit like scripture, the word struck deeper. She wasn't here just to hit balls. She was here to inherit lessons carved from 22 Grand Slam titles and a lifetime of relentless passion. Warming up with a legend, their session began with long rallies. Simple rallies, Nadal's specialty when teaching. Consistency before power, he reminded her. Footwork before fireworks. Alex responded with strokes crisp enough to impress, yet humble enough to show respect. Nadal, moving lighter than his retired status would suggest, returned each ball with surgical placement, teaching without speaking, guiding without boasting. But the magic wasn't in the strokes. It was in the energy, the unmistakable heartbeat of clay court tennis. Long points, heavy topspin, the rhythmic sliding of shoes on the red earth. And suddenly, Alex felt it. She wasn't just training. She was connecting with a legacy that shaped an entire generation. Conversations between rallies. Whenever they paused for water, Nadal shared stories, ones the public seldom heard. He told her about the 2008 Wimbledon final, his mental war against Federer, how he woke up the next day not with pride, but with a deeper hunger to improve. He told her about the 2012 French Open, when his knees hurt so badly he wondered if the universe was trying to tell him his career had peaked. He told her about the 2022 Australian Open comeback, the one that defied logic and physiology, where he asked himself, what if this is the last time I get to fight like this? Then he looked at Alex with a gaze so intense it could carve marble. Talent is nothing if you don't suffer for it, he said. But suffering is beautiful when you know what you're fighting for. Alex listened with the reverence of a disciple. She wanted to ask 1,000 questions, but each time she opened her mouth, the weight of the moment left her breathless. Rafa surprise challenge. Halfway through their training, Nadal raised an eyebrow and said with playful seriousness, "Let's play a set." Alex froze. A set? Against one of the greatest players in history. Even if retired? Are you sure? She asked nervously. He shrugged in that classic, charming Nadal way. Why not? I still have enough energy to teach you a few lessons. The staff watching from the sidelines exchanged looks of disbelief. Alex took her position on the baseline. Her hand shook at first, but then she reminded herself. This is a man whose legacy helped build her dreams. But he brought her here not to admire him, but to rise with him. Game on, Eala versus Nadal. Alex served first. The ball cracked through the air, fast, precise, confident. Nadal returned with a heavy forehand that dipped at the perfect angle. Alex lunged, recovered, sent it cross court. They traded shots, long rallies that had the staff holding their breath. When Alex won the first point, Nadal clapped. Very good, but can you do it again? She did. And again, and again. The set wasn't for score, it was for growth. Rafa pushed her, not to break her, but to reveal what she didn't know she had. She hit winners she never attempted before. Alex's initials. You've earned your place here, he told her. Her throat tightened. She didn't expect a tribute today. She didn't expect to be part of Nadal's legacy, literally engraved into the Academy's history. A final rally at sunset. Before leaving, Nadal insisted on one last rally, short, fun, symbolic. He hit the ball high. Looping, majestic, Alex returned with a fierce, confident swing. The ball soared against the sunset, glowing like a fiery comet. It was more than a ball. It was a torch, passing from one champion to the next. The moment that echoed worldwide. News of their anniversary training session leaked within hours. Social media erupted. Fans celebrated the iconic meeting. Players around the world sent messages of awe. But the real magic was never in the cameras, the headlines, or the trending hashtags. It happened on that clay court, where a legend remembered what he once fought for and a rising star understood what she must fight for next. Legacy in motion. The session ended, but its impact didn't. For Alex Eala, this day became the turning point. The moment she stopped being a promising star and began stepping into her future as a potential champion. For Rafa Nadal, it was proof that retirement didn't end his influence. His spirit lived on in every player he touched, every court that bore his footsteps, every young talent he empowered. A final thought. Greatness isn't measured only by trophies. Sometimes it's measured by the seeds a legend plants, the quiet mentoring moments, the unexpected invitations, the wisdom passed down like sacred flame. On the anniversary of his retirement, Rafael Nadal didn't celebrate himself. He chose to celebrate the future. And on that sunlit court in Mallorca, the future had a name. Alex Eala, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.